Hello people of YouTube. Today I'm going to read a story. It's called, actually, let me get the title. It's called Mixing Relationships. Chapter 1, the author is by Aaron240. Funny, switch those numbers, it's 420. Okay. Reading this looks quite a lot. Alright, looks like we have a Vinyl Scratch, so not sure if I said her name right. So sorry if I did. Okay. Mixing Relationships, Chapter 1. That's recording. Okay. Okay. So, where are we going tonight, Tabby? A brash, bold, marshmallow-like pony with an electric blue mane and mirrored eighth notes, cutie mark. Oh, fuck. Cannot read. Alright. Eighth note, cute. Eighth. Fuck you. Again. Her cutie mark is notes. Let's go with that. Intently at the pony next to her as they trotted along the snowy streets of Manhattan. Her large purple shades hide any trace of emotion that might be dwelling in her eyes. Her smile, however, gave her away as she waited for a response. Well, we're going to... Oh, wait! Let me guess. Let's see. Vinyl Scratch put her forehoofs to her head, minding deep in thought. The great and all-knowing DJ Pone 3 predicts plenty of boring music on the horizon, followed by a 60% chance of drinking and a possibility of intimate fun for all. Ooh, sounded sexy. The pony with a treble clef cutie mark began turning her head, turn red, and cut off the unicorn before she could get to the end of her sentence. Shh, Vinyl, we're in public here. The white unicorn turned to her filly friend and grinned from behind her mirrored shades as she began to enjoy mocking Octavia in her usual fashion. Before she could craft one of her witty responses, however, the cellist remembered the other insult she had received from the white unicorn beside her and cut off her yet again. And, for your information, my music is not boring. If you seriously intend to convince me that those thumps and screeches that you listen to is somehow music, then you are more deluded than I originally thought. Right, because... But at this point, Octavia knew that the pony next to her well enough to know when to block her for maximum effect. The DJ was like a good band. Once she got started, she wouldn't stop making noise until she ran out of material. The main difference was that the band usually had ponies that wanted to hear the noise that it made. Because nothing. We are going to see one of my favorite musicians, and I'd like to enjoy it for once. Scroll down here. Vinyl kept it up. So, assuming we can survive the tedious, tiresome, totally tepid, Octavia swung around from her brisk trot. But, fuck, I cannot read. Holy shit. Sorry, I swore there. Her brisk trot to gaze at the white pony with just a hint of ferocity, cutting off her surprisingly eloquent alliteration. Jesus. I'm like reading hieroglyphics. The two were by now in an abandoned alley, taking a shortcut through the back streets to make it to the concert on time. But now, I really need to see this concert. I really want to enjoy it. Is that so much to ask? The unicorn, taken aback by the change in the Earth Pony's mood, was surprisingly silent for once, for the record, breaking time for a couple of seconds. And then, in a gesture quite out of character herself, she lowered her head. I'm sorry, Tabby. I'm just good at pushing buttons. Octavia gazed at the mayor before her, and her anger melted. She knew Vinyl and cared for her, and hated her to see like this. Looking around, finding the two alone, she smiled and put her forelegs around the white pony, or white DJ nuzzling her neck. I'm sorry too, Vinyl. I tend to forget how exasperating you can be. The DJ, always one to bounce back from blue mood with almost the speed of a certain pink pony found at parties, smiled impishly back at Octavia. Aw, it's okay, Tabby. But could you possibly stop using such big words? I'm so left behind in all your classy intelligence. Oh, Vinyl, you are so... It means... But the sneaky unicorn had other plans. With Octavia distracted, rolling her eyes at Vinyl, was always her favorite of hers. She snuck a hoof into her side and began to tickle her. Never mind, Debbie, I found something more interesting. Alright. A little shipping going on here. Octavia fell over laughing, landing on her back in the soft flurries piling around the two. Vinyl immediately took advantage of the opportunity and landed on top of her, grabbing a hoof full of snow and rubbing it in the other pony's face. The gray mare, still giggling, tossed her mane back and forth as she attempted to evade the fluffy whiteness. All of a sudden, the two mares found themselves with their muzzles surprisingly close together. Vinyl, the constant prankster, leaned over to kiss her lightly, which distracted the earth pony just long enough for her to grab another hoof of snow. Tabby, expecting this, stopped Vinyl's foreleg with her own hoof and, laughing, pushed it back into the DJ pony's face. The white pony sputtered, wildly shaking her head to get it all off and accidentally knocking loose her trademark shades in the process, revealing the vibrant ruby red eyes behind them. Octavia suddenly became passive, staring upwards at the unicorn. Sensing the change, also stopped her onslaught to gaze at the earth pony below her. The two had just recently discovered their mutual feelings for each other, and neither was quite sure where to go from. Wherever they were. Fuck. Oh my god, I cannot read that. This is... Okay. They let the moment linger for a second longer, then, smiling happily, got to their hoofs. Vinyl attempted one more snowball, with Octavia blocked easily. Which Octavia blocked easily. The white unicorn returned her shades to her eyes, prompting an exasperated yet contented sigh from the gray earth pony. Oh god, I gotta burp. Okay. Vinyl, you really do have such lovely eyes. Why must you hide them behind those garish things? The DJ pony grinned over at her paramour, the shades once again hiding the spark in her eyes that Octavia knew was there. Maybe it's because I like to hear you complain about it. Octavia, feeling that everything was right with Equestria, linked her forehoof with Vinyl's. Come on, you. We have a concert to get to. Whether you like it or not, afterwards, well, we'll see what happens. Vinyl turned with a mock surprise to her companion. Why, Tabby, did you just suggest that we... The cellist grinned. A surprisingly good move. Intimidation of Vinyl's own. I didn't suggest anything, my dear. You drew your own conclusions. Oh. Dun dun dun. The DJ pony knew well that she was being teased and responded to it with equanimity. Well, fine then, Tabby. This can wait till later tonight. She winked, adding, "You're always more fun with a little alcohol in you." The two continued on their way through the wind-dept winter streets, each contented with the other's happiness as they hoped the night would go on and on. Well, that was the first little section of our chapter. So, it appears that this is a shipping between Vinyl and Octavia, the two music ponies in the franchise, I think. So, that's part 1. And ready for part 2.